Welcome everyone. This is Sohaib Hassan with another live session today. And today we have a special guest in this live broadcast, a very good friend of mine all the way from Brisbane, Australia, Dino Pacella, who has a very exclusive journey, I would say, on LinkedIn. I remember when I got connected with this guy, and you know, his journey has been inspirational. His journey has a lot of learning when it comes to content creation on LinkedIn, when it comes to expanding your network, when it comes to even those little things, that how you have to write the post using the hashtags, and how you can grow or you can have a larger impact on LinkedIn. And of course, you know, LinkedIn comes with different tools, different dynamics, but this guy has mastered all these tools. So I thought, why not to bring him on this live broadcast and to share his journey with all of you, so that together we can learn, together we can share some best practices in case we together are looking forward to expand our network on LinkedIn, and how we can create a larger impact. So I'll bring my guest in a while. I have just sent a notification in my Telegram channel that we are live. So in case you have not joined my Telegram channel yet, you can simply download the application Telegram, and then you can simply join it, just like, you know, you would have WhatsApp, and you would sign up by your mobile number, and then you have your account on WhatsApp. So similarly, you can download the app Telegram, which is largely used when it comes to groups and channels, and then you have to search for Sohaib Hassan Official, and you would simply subscribe, and then all the future updates, all the tips and tricks when it comes to personal branding, networking, different events, and especially the live broadcast, and you would not going to miss any of those information, any of those session notifications. So make sure that you subscribe to that channel as well on Telegram. And also I have a channel on WhatsApp, so in case you would like to join, you can drop me a message on my LinkedIn account, or you can put in the comments below if you would like to see the channel link here. All right, so we already have Pradeep, brother, who's saying hello, Sohaib sir. Thank you very much, Pradeep, for joining. We have Akar, who's saying good to see you again, looking forward for new learning. Absolutely. In this session today, we're going to learn a lot about that, how this friend all the way from Australia, he has grown his network to 100,000 followers. You know, whenever people, they think the word follower, it's not about the numbers. It's what I'm talking here is about followers, mean the network he has right now, the massive network he has globally. And also, like, he has created his own tribe, where he like put his content out, where he tell people how to use LinkedIn, where he shares his best practices. So his own tribe of 100,000 followers. We're going to learn a lot from the insights of Dino today. Let me just quickly check if everything is working fine on my LinkedIn account, because we are going live on LinkedIn as well and on YouTube as well. And in case if you're watching me on LinkedIn, unfortunately, I would not be able to see your comments, because I'm using the medium that I'm using right now. I am only able to see comments through the YouTube channel. So feel free to join the YouTube live broadcast, and the link is in the description of this post, and you just have to click and it will take you to the YouTube live broadcast, and we'll be happy to take your comments. And in case you have any question, you can always you can ask my guest today. And I'm going to bring him on board now, none other than my very good friend all the way again from Australia. He is Dino Pacella.
Hassan, how are you?
Absolutely great, Dino. Thank you very much for your time. To come on this show and to share your journey of 100,000 followers. As I always say, it's not about the followers, it's about the network that you have built based on your content, based on your efforts, and most importantly, based on your influence, you know, the type of content that you share to motivate people for their careers, motivate people how to best use LinkedIn, and your all tips and strategies. I think they are floating all over LinkedIn. So once again, thank you very much for being on the show.
No, thank you for having me. It's my first or my second YouTube live, but my first one with you. So I'm very, very excited to be on your channel. And let's see some questions come in, as well as us sharing both our journeys, because your journey's been an amazing one across both platforms as well.
Great. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comments below. Again, I would say if you're watching us on LinkedIn right now, there is a link in the description of the post. You just have to click it, and it will take you to the YouTube live broadcast, where you can actually ask questions. I already can see there are a few comments. They have come. For example, we have Inam Hussein, thanks again for the informative session. Absolutely, brother. We are trying our best to give you, the best possible ways that you can use LinkedIn and how you can grow your audience. In this live session, we are exclusively focusing like how you can expand your network. So make sure, like, if you have any question, you can ask any questions in this. So we also have Vipul who is saying, hi. We have all the way from Italy, Black Mamba who's saying hello from Pacella, Italy. Thank you very much for joining. Do you know, I can hear some, is it like I can hear myself.
It's just because you're very influential. You can hear yourself. I said, no, I have no noise in my background. It is silent.
No, I thought maybe there is something, for example, like maybe because I saw like there's nothing turned on my mobile, so I thought maybe from your end. Okay, so everything is switched off, right?
Correct.
Okay, awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know people didn't know you, but like what type of content you promote on LinkedIn, and how did your journey started over LinkedIn?
Okay, so my first journey started probably about 6-7 years ago now, Hassan. It was all about I was in a corporate position and I wanted to build a brand so I could build a network off the back of that brand to be able to create more opportunities for myself.
Right.
So I thought, well, let me go on LinkedIn. I'll have a look at it. I'll do a post once or twice a week. And I thought that was enough. And then I went into work one afternoon and a gentleman said, hey, you're not very active on LinkedIn. And I went, oh, okay. I said, should I do more? He goes, yeah. He goes, don't you want to be seen as the best? I went, all right. That's exactly what I want to be. I want to be. He goes, well, you need to tell people you're the best on LinkedIn. He goes, you need to promote why you're the best, what you're doing. You're winning the awards. You need to promote the awards. And I went, oh, okay, I'll do this. And I did that for 1 or 2 years. And I became very arrogant, Hassan, on that journey at the beginning of LinkedIn.
Okay.
In the sense that I didn't like the brand that I was portraying because it was all about me. And if anybody knows, when you're building a brand, it's not about you, it's about your network. Without your network, you don't have a brand.
Okay.
So I got a few people ringing me going, hey, why do you keep posting about yourself? And I went, what do you mean?
So what kind of content you were posting when, I mean,
it's all about me, like me out, company awards we're winning, me at the office with somebody who did something well.
Okay.
Yeah, if I went out to a conference, it was me because I was doing this. So it was all about me. And then the light bulb switched, Hassan, and I went, oh, what if I just flipped that M? And you've heard me say this before.
Yeah.
Right. So I flipped that M, and now I concentrate about the we factor. So I make the personal branding all about us.
All right.
And after doing that for 2 years consistently, I found the brand has gone from strength to strength, and the network has grown from strength to strength because I removed that wall where it's all about me. Yeah, I removed the what's in it for me. Okay. And all of a sudden, then the value, the education, the information that you can create around you and around your network is astronomical because my mind just opened up.
Great. And did you also see, for example, even if you're posting your pictures, you are at an event, you have won an award, and because your company is attached to your image as well, and they are being promoted anyway with that, do you still think like this is still you being yourself, promoting yourself? What I also see is that the company is being promoted as well, attached to that image and attached to that post, and they can actually leverage their own employees' accounts to actually grow big, actually grow massive and have a larger impact. So what do you think about that?
Absolutely. But I think now it's turned around and you need to ask yourself, why are you doing that post? So if I'm running my own business for people that have their own business, even corporate employees,
right?
But get that why factor in. So if I'm out at a conference, why, instead of just putting a selfie of me with 100 people behind me going, hey, I'm at the conference today, this is awesome, right? Fantastic, your network knows where you are, but where's the value in that? What's the why person? purpose.
Yes.
How about I take a selfie, there's 100 people behind me, and now I've gone, hey, I'm at this conference, I've taken away this, and this today that I can implement into my business. I'm going to be a better professional. I can service my customers better.
Yes.
If you're running your business, why don't you try a couple of these tips which I learned today?
Yeah.
Now, that's a lot more powerful than me going, hey, with 100 people behind me. That's
I think also, the why factor is really important. So to all the listeners, if you're making any type of content on LinkedIn, and this is also based on my personal experience as well, and of course, we're going to learn from Dino's journey today as well, that how he has grown his followers base of 100,000 plus people on LinkedIn. And he has this massive engagement on his content, that whenever you're posting something on LinkedIn, always think about a why factor, why you're posting it, and most importantly, how it is going to impact, how it is going to add value to your audience. So tomorrow, as Dino said, like, it doesn't make any sense if you have a selfie and you post it like, I am at this event. But how about this, as Dino mentioned, there's a audience at your back and you are a speaker on that event. So you are telling your network that, about your skill sets, about what you can actually deliver. But on the other side, even if you as an attendee, you're taking a picture that I'm at this event, maybe in the content of the post, in the description, you can write that if you would like to join such events in the future, this is the website where you can find more events. At least give a value. It's not only about you, it's about them. It's about your network. Absolutely great. Dino, we have one question here because I would like to take maximum questions in this live broadcast as well. So Alina was saying that I have two, is it okay to have two different LinkedIn profiles? I'm experienced in finance and in HR as well. Now, of course, Dino, I know you personally that, you have experience in digital marketing, content marketing, business development as well. Plus also, you have, your career in investment and banking and in the finance sector. So maybe we can learn from your experience, like how do you manage these two diverse and different portfolios in one single account, or would you rather recommend people to have two separate accounts?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think if you look at it from an employee perspective, okay, so if you've got a job, you work for a company, I don't personally see the need to have two accounts. Okay, I look at it in the sense that, one, you need to have the support from your company and your boss to go, listen, I want to promote my brand on LinkedIn. Obviously, there's going to be a halo effect that comes off the back of it, and the company's going to get the benefits. Right? So get the buy-in from your employer so they're aware of what you're going to be doing. And if anything that you're posting, you feel that potentially squashing on that line that's going to damage either yourself or the company's image, then it's not worth posting. But you can always ask the boss to say, listen, this is what I want to do. Because it's your brand at the end of the day. It's your profile, not the company's. Okay? So if your boss or the company says, listen, we don't want you posting, then that may leave different opportunities where you potentially could have a separate profile without those colleagues. And I know, Hassan, you've talked about this recently as well. Should you be blocking your boss? So that opens up a different can of worms if your company and your boss isn't supportive of building a brand online. Now, if you're a business on LinkedIn, definitely have a personal profile to work on your personal brand, but then set up the LinkedIn company page as well and start drawing posts around what the company is doing, sharing more corporate professional value adds on what your company can do to assist their clients and their clients alike.
Right. And my suggestion would be like, like LinkedIn profile is so diverse that you can, use it either way. You can use it only for the HRs, only for the marketing, for one specific profession. But then if you are using your LinkedIn profile for job searching purposes, and then you feel like, you are a good fit in HR and marketing, so you can improvise your profile with, with industry relevant keywords in HR and in finance both, and you diversify your LinkedIn profile. And then when you are actually applying for different job opportunities, you can use the LinkedIn job seeking preference settings where you can upload multiple resumes, and then you can choose the relevant resume to apply for that particular position. But as Dino mentioned, I mean, you can have a word with your employer. Now, again, it depends if you want to keep 2 separate profiles, if you are in content creation, or you want to keep 1 single profile. Again, if you are in content creation that has 2 different aspects. But we'd love to hear from your side, Alina, again, what actually is your goal, and then maybe we can help you with that as well. And to all the listeners who are listening us on LinkedIn, feel free to join our YouTube live in case you have any questions, because the medium that I'm using right now, I am unable to see your live comments on LinkedIn, but I only can see the live comments from my YouTube channel. So hit the link in the description of this post that will take you to our live broadcast on YouTube, and then you can ask any question you would like to ask from Dino, and we'll be happy to help you with that. So we'll come now to the part of the content creation on LinkedIn in a while. But before that, I want to take one more comment here from Samin, who's saying, promoting the company brand through one's own profile. Absolutely. This is, I believe, like this has become essential, and companies have realized now that they can actually have a larger impact. They can actually grow their network when they actually use their own employees' account, which is absolutely great. All right, Dino, let's talk a little bit about the content creation now. So when you started your journey over LinkedIn, did you think of like you ever wanted to have like 100,000 followers, or you just started with 1 single content, and then what was that the moment that has driven you that, okay, content will help me grow my network, and content will get me my tribe where I want to push myself in?
Yeah, it was definitely around that flipping the M part, because that was my light bulb moment. If somebody said, because I think my network, I was only growing at I can't remember the exact numbers. It would have been around that 30 to 40,000 in the first 4 to 5 years. So it was a slow network, but I only wanted to build it purely to have those warm introductions with people that I could assist in my corporate job, in my business development job, in the finance industry. And that's all I wanted to use it for. When I started flipping that in, what happened? All of a sudden, with the content changing, I then met people outside of my target audience, right? Like you, right? So one all of a sudden, and you and I love analogies, okay? So I'll share my first one. This is the first one. Somebody can keep track in the comments how many analogies we share. We'll probably hit 5 or 6. But if you imagine you're going fishing on the weekend, and you take one rod, and there's a gentleman next to you that has the big trawler boat with the big net that goes for 2 kilometers.
I know where you're
right? So all of a sudden, my opportunities that I've got with one rod, I might catch a fish, or I might catch an opportunity 1 every hour. I've got this big net that's trawling along a big fishing boat. I'm going to catch hundreds of opportunities every single hour. The beauty of catching it in the net, and I'm not saying people go out and go fishing, but when it comes to branding, the opportunity is that I may be connected with somebody, and then that somebody may know somebody who I can help. Or I may be able to introduce 2 or 3 people, and they can get together and do something, whether it's build a relationship, do business, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. That is when your brand becomes very, 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 very powerful, is when you can introduce people and you have nothing to do with it. Because people all of a sudden goes, now you're making your network work. It's not about the numbers when you can introduce other people. So does that help? What's your take on that question that you did ask me?
I think yes, and you, I love putting different analogies there, so to help understand or to help make my content understand, and I think you have done a good job. But one question, we also have a relevant question here from Wakar, who's saying, like, since Dino, you are posting content for a larger reach as well, plus also he wants to know how to grow profile visibility. Is sharing content is the only way, considering like his supply chain management? So how do you think, like, does content creation helps in profile visibility?
It does, but it's one small part of it. Okay. So if you're having a targeted approach on LinkedIn, and if he's going into supply chain management or something here, and you don't need to pay for the LinkedIn Premium or LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Use the search filters. And you know this, Hassan. Use the search filters, go through them, have a look first, second, third degree connections, and find out when your targets are posting. So this takes some time and some strategy. But if all of a sudden you've targeted 5 people where they potentially could become a client, so they're prospects at the moment, what you want to do on your sales journey on LinkedIn is find out have a look at these people's profile, go through their activities, have a look when they engage and when they post.
Right.
Okay? It may not be identical, but you'll get an understanding if they post 1, 2, 3, 4 times a week. And then what you want to do is when they post, within the first 12 to 24 hours, you want to go there and engage.
Right.
Okay? So all of a sudden, if you can start picking out 10 people and then next week you pick out another 10, so you're building this pipeline of prospects, really targeted approach. But then you comment. But when you comment, I say you comment as you post. Okay? So Hassan, you know what I mean, right?
Yes. Is it like something with the algorithm to trigger the algorithm?
Not so much around the algorithm, but more so to get noticed.
Okay,
so again, can I use my second analogy for the night?
Okay. Before that, is it like commenting on your own post or commenting on their posts?
Commenting on their post.
Commenting on their post. All right.
So we know there's a lot of comments, and I value each comment, even if it's just, hey, great post, or hey, thank you, have a weekend, or hey, hope you're safe. But if there's 10 comments on that person's post, if you're in that industry, you'd have that knowledge and that skill set where you'd be able to share some valuable information on that person's post. Now, automatically, you're doing that 5, 6 times on their post over a 4 to 5 week period.
Right.
Now, you get in contact with this person, unless they are oblivious to what's going on in their comments, you pick up the phone, say, Hassan, I've been seeing your post, really, really love it.
Yes.
I'd love to have a coffee with you or a Skype call for half an hour to learn a little bit more about your business. I'm really curious around what more you can do. Automatically, this person will know who you are because you've been commenting and engaging. Exactly. So you've taken the cold introduction, you've turned it into a warm introduction. Just imagine somebody comes knocking at your door every single day to say, hello, Hassan, how are you? Yeah. How are you going? And then they ring you. You're automatically going to know who they are.
That's right.
So that's a little strategic approach on how to do it. It does take time. So that was from Wasik, wasn't it? That approach does take time, but it works. Trust me, it works because I've got. Exactly. I can tell you stories on how it worked with some very successful and influential business people that I've managed to be able to build friendships with and come and support other projects that I'm doing through this strategy.
Right. And one tip here is that, Waqar, like especially if you wanna get seen or if you want to promote your content to get the profile visibility, you can join different supply chain groups on LinkedIn. And if you, as Dino mentioned, like on one side you are doing your hard efforts to get the relevant people, which is absolutely essential. But on the other side, you can also join different communities, and then you start posting your content in those communities, because if you have a network of, for example, let's say IT people or HRs and marketing majority in your connections, let's say you have 5,000 people in your connections as your first degree connections, and you really don't know who they actually are, and you have just added them in your connections. And now you feel very safe, you feel very confident that I have 5,000 people in my connections. And tomorrow, if you're going to start posting something about supply chain management or, all those technicalities, so that content maybe will not resonate. Maybe, well aligned with your connection. So either your content has to be posted in a tribe of relevant people, or as Dino mentioned, that you need to get connected with the relevant people, relevant profiles, and most importantly, engage in the relevant content so you get the maximum profile visibility for your added value and for yourself as well. So the people, they come back to your profile and they follow you, and they are intrigued to know more about you, who you are, what you do on this platform. And of course, again, Dino has mentioned that this is a journey. It did not happen overnight. It's a journey, a few years, but now I think I remember, Dino, when we started, I believe on LinkedIn, there was not LinkedIn Live, there was no native video. But now you see, if you're watching this video right now, you are super, super lucky because you have all these tools available where you can actually capitalize, where you can capitalize your content. So if you're in any service you're offering on LinkedIn, text posts, publishing articles, LinkedIn Live, native videos, collaborations, groups, a lot of things, bunch of things that you can do only on this platform. And now LinkedIn has introduced, like, let's say the feature section where you can promote your content, where you can promote your skills. And I think this is so amazing right now with all these tools on LinkedIn that you have no reason, you have no excuse that LinkedIn is not helping me for a job, to even to expand your business, to expand your network. All the tools are available. It's just that you have to take a nosedive and learn all those things. All right, Dino. So we talk about content marketing. So what is, when you started, or like during your journey, how did you manage to post content, like, multiple times a day? Did you have a calendar, or like 3 times a day? Did you evaluate your audience first, like this is the right time to post for them, and I should not be posting too much because they would not consume if I'm going to post like 4 times a day? So tell us a little bit on this as well.
Yeah, so initially, again, I was only posting 2 to 3 times a week, and then I felt that wasn't enough to share what I wanted to share and bring the value across. So I created, and people may have seen this before, particularly on LinkedIn for people that are watching, but I created a simple PPE strategy. So it was just a little calendar that I had, and it was, I filled in times around preparation, around the posting time. So I did some analytics, because you can't, it's very hard to pull off analytics from your own posts around traction, views, shares, without doing it manually. Right. There's a couple of other platforms that can pull this here and there, but it's not as good as some other social platforms. So I used to track the posting times, the views, the engagement, the comments, what the comments were like, exactly what time I posted. So it was at 8:14 p.m. on Tuesday night. Right. And then I tried that for 4 weeks, and then I tried to change a few times that were performing well the next 4 weeks. So I did 4 weeks lots. So then out of that PPE, so I had the posting preparation, and then I had engagement time. Right. And it was all about how much time can I invest in my brand. Right?
So the more you invest, the more you get out of it.
Well, that's anything, right? That's, you want to get fit, you want to learn a language. The more time you put into it, the better you're going to get, the more engagement you're going to get.
Right.
But branding, sometimes it's not a 5-minute game. And people that are running their business, that have busy jobs, they may be working 10, 11, 12 hours. Then you've got a family to go into. Then you want to go to the gym, or you want to play sport, you want to read. You go, geez, when am I supposed to work on my brand? But that's very, very real. It's a very real problem for a lot of people. Right. And you and I know, particularly when we've used LinkedIn for a number of years, and then all of a sudden you want to go build your brand or expand your brand on another platform, it takes even more time, because you need to learn that platform and do everything that you did on the other social platforms, do it again. And it may not work because it's a different platform. But if I go back to the PPE strategy, I said to myself, I had 2 hours in the morning free before I started work, before I had anything. And then in the evening, I spent time with the children, the partner, and then I knew I had another couple of hours free. Okay. So what I did, I broke that 4 hours down into preparation time, into when I'm going to post, so another 5 or 10 minutes, and then into engagement time. And I tried to do content enough that was there for 3 or 4 days in advance. Right. So as much as me using and a good friend of ours, Zita Yarwood, says around using the surroundings and creating content around your surroundings, yes, that starts becoming easier when you plan your content, because all of a sudden your mind becomes in that content creation capability, and you go, oh, I can do this. It's just like driving a car. Right? You learn and then you just do it.
Yes.
But I think it's understanding how much time you can invest without stressing yourself out, Hassan, would be the easiest way. If I said I wanted to do 5 hours a day, but I'm working 10 hours, I'm going to get so worried about my brain going, oh, my God, how am I going to do this? How's that person? And then the content is poor.
Yes.
You don't engage. You get the timing wrong. You don't build the right network. Your messagings are very, very poor. So if it's only 1 hour a day, make it 1 hour a day.
All right.
But make it a good hour a day.
Right. So on a last note, what do you suggest for all those newbies on LinkedIn who are trying to promote themselves through their profiles, or like who are in this journey of making themselves visible on this platform? So what do you suggest? Is it like twice a day they should begin with, or thrice a day?
Are we talking newbies, Hassan? Like
Newbies
just started on the platform?
Yes, newbies who have just realized that this is a great platform. Newbies who have just realized that they want to create content, and newbies who have just, let's say newbies who are really inspired seeing people like you, have a larger impact. So how many times a day they should be posting content?
Listen, if you're just starting off, maybe one a day, one every 2 days is enough, because it's not the content as much that's going to shoot it out. Because I'm not an expert on the algorithm, but unless they've changed it, when you are posting content, to my knowledge, and Hassan, you may know this a little bit better than me, but I got told it only used to shoot it out to about 0.5% of your network originally before people started engaging.
Exactly.
I mean, if you've only got 100 people following you or in your network, I mean, there's not many people that are going to be seeing it, right?
Yes, exactly.
So concentrate on the right content, but concentrate more on the engagement on other people's posts.
Yes, this is great. And also from my side, it would be like excuse me. So if you're posting content on LinkedIn, maybe once a day or maximum twice a day, if you're a newbie on LinkedIn. In a while, I'm going to take your questions. So please stay with us, because I already can see there are a bunch of comments and questions out there that I will take on board in a while. And if you are watching me on LinkedIn Live right now, you can click on the link in the description of the post that will take you to our YouTube live broadcast, and you can leave your comments there and we can see your live comments. Unfortunately, in StreamYard, the medium that I'm using right now, I am unable to see the live comments from my LinkedIn Live. I hope this integration will go sooner, and we'll be able to see those live comments in the StreamYard as well from LinkedIn. But now the integration helps with Facebook and with YouTube, both. All right, so from my side, I think if you are posting content, you also don't want to spend more time creating a best of the best content, and you're sharing with your audience every day, like twice or thrice a day. But then like as I mentioned earlier, like your content maybe is not relevant to the audience, or maybe to the network that you have at present. So maybe you might have to detox your connection. You might have to remove some of the connections, and you might have to bring some new connections, some healthy connections in the team. Dino, I don't know, like if you have seen this series on Netflix, Money Heist. So all this,
I still haven't got there, but I'm sure other people have watched it.
So the idea, I mean, like those who have watched this Money Heist, they know that there is a team, and they would go to they would rob like a royal mint with millions and billions of dollars inside. And so you see like how they team up together. All right. So the concept behind is that you need to have a network where your content can be seen and people will engage in your content. And this will give you enough boost. This will give you enough push, enough drive to bring more content for them. Rather, you have posted a wonderful video today, a wonderful content, a PDF file, and then tomorrow you see like the engagement is not as expected, and then it will demoralize, it will puncture your motivation. So make sure that also you focus on expanding your network so that your content can be seen in the right audience. All right, so let's go back to take some of the comments and questions. All right, so we have all the way, by the way, our very good friend from Malaysia, Joy Abdullah. You're watching. Thank you very much, Joy, for being on the show. It's been a pleasure always. We have one question here from Viral Marketing saying, as an employee, if someone applied for a job in other company, is there a way that current employer know this from LinkedIn that ABC employee has applied for a job in XY? So to my best understanding, no, your employer would not know unless you are applying for a position within your own company, which is posted on LinkedIn. Otherwise, or there could be like in worst case scenario, we're talking like you applied for a position. So you work for company ABC and you have applied for XYZ company. and then maybe somebody in XYZ, they will call the company ABC's HR department, and they would like say, hey, one of your employees applied. But these things don't happen. So don't worry about that. Shouldn't occur. So that's why the job portals are there. That's why the job sections are there on different social media platforms, so that you can freely apply. And yes, you add something here?
I was just going to say something before we get to the next question. All these LinkedIn tips on my YouTube channel as well. I created a playlist on how you can optimize your performance across LinkedIn.
Right.
So that PPE strategy I was talking about, there's the one that's titled "How to Fire Up Your Brand on LinkedIn."
Okay.
That was a presentation I did at a digital marketing summit in Perth, Australia, a couple of years back. And I talk a little bit more about that PPE strategy on there. So if anybody wanted to know, it's in the YouTube channel under the playlist, How to Optimize Your LinkedIn Performance.
Okay, all right. And feel free to subscribe to Dino's channel as well on YouTube. It's Dino Pacella. And you can find, interesting content on his channel as well when it comes to personal branding, networking, growing big on LinkedIn, and one he has just mentioned about firing up your brand and how you can, get maximum out of these social media platforms. All right. So we quickly go back to a few more comments here. Samin Zaki is saying to concentrate more on the engagement in others' posts alongside one's own content creation. Absolutely. Yep. This is the key. This is the key. We have one more comment here. How do you land a job when you are in the catch-22 zone? What post or comment do we do? Catch-22 zone. Brother, if you can explain this to us, because this is something new for us, like catch-22 zone. Is it like if you're talking about COVID-19 and about this pandemic, then maybe you can, Samuel, please explain this to us. From my side, maybe I can answer this how do you land a job? Yes, you can post, but don't post that I'm looking for a job, because you might get tons and tons of sympathies, but it is very unlikely that somebody would come up and give you a job. So rather, you should use the job section, and there are good approaches that how you can optimize that section. On the other side, even if you have to make a post, maybe you can take help of one of your mutual connections who can again personally introduce your profile to somebody in his network who is hiring. But personally, I don't recommend people to make posts on LinkedIn and undressing themselves that that I'm looking for a job. Rather, you can start to create some value, start to create your own personal brand in a way that can attract more people towards your profile. All right, so we have Dino Wakari saying thank you very much for the answer. It has made his day. So
you're welcome.
This is the beauty of these lives. This is the beauty of bringing all these experts together on one single platform, so that we can learn from each other. And when knowledge is shared in a larger audience, I think that has a larger impact as well. Again, if you're watching us on LinkedIn right now, you can click on the link in the description of this post that will take you to our YouTube live broadcast, which is happening right now. And you can also leave your questions and anything that you want to ask Dino about his journey on LinkedIn, about content creation, how we can optimize different tools. Of course, there are a bunch of very interesting questions that are in the queue that might help you as well in your journey over LinkedIn. And we are being absolutely transparent today. So there are no gimmicks, as you might have been hearing from different people. But on this live, also in my life, I have been very blunt, and I tell my experience very transparent. Very transparently, so there's nothing like any gimmicks.
Ask us anything. Ask us anything.
Ask us anything. Absolutely.
Anything you want.
Anything you want. Anything you want. All right. So Joy is saying thank you very much. So we have Hamid who's saying how to grow big on LinkedIn. So maybe Dino, your 1 or 2 tips on this. Of course, we're going to discuss more in detail, but since he has asked.
Overall, like anything that you want to get good at, imagine that you want to learn a new language. Right? So you need to turn up every single day.
Right.
And I don't mean just turn up and go, hello, how are you going? And then walk back out and you're done for 5 minutes. Turn up every single day and ask yourself, if I want to grow big on LinkedIn, why are people going to send me a connection request? Why are people going to hit the follow button? Why are they going to engage in my content? Is it because you're good looking?
Right.
Maybe not. Right? Is it because you're an expert in a field and you're going to share some value onto it? The best part, if you want to maybe the biggest tip if you want to grow on LinkedIn, and this is hard for people if you've never done it before, is I used to be Dino Pacella, the corporate employee, and I used to have a wall here, and all you saw was about my business, my work and what I did. I would never post around my personal life or my journey in the past, or I would never post about that I was married before and now I'm divorced. I would never have talked about that. But people go, oh, they don't want to listen about that on LinkedIn. But do you know what? If you can put it in a way where you can help a few people through the experience part of your journey, that is where you can grow. Because all of a sudden, I'm not talking about finance where my audience is this. I'm talking about the value in the feelings that you can get when my own experience when I was divorced, and then all of a sudden I don't see my children 7 days a week. How do I combat that? How do I get in the right mindset? Exactly. How do I get past that feeling? All of a sudden my network has gone from that to that, my audience. Sorry, that.
Yes.
Right? Because there's so many people in that same boat. So jump in the boat where people are, grab the rows and row with them. And I'll tell you what, that's probably the biggest tip. And I'm not saying you need to share your pictures at a family barbecue on a Sunday, but if you've had a failure, you've always learned something from that, right? Well, you should have. Share that experience with people, because there's always somebody going through something. If it's not the same, something similar. What's your tip on that?
It is absolutely right, and especially content that has a personal touch, content that has some emotional value, content that has a certain bonding with your network, with the people that you can create, has a larger impact as compared to your normal content. So I just recently shared one of my LinkedIn posts, just recently, like 2 days ago, and I shared a friend of mine. She called me, one morning, actually two days ago. So she called me up and she said, like, she has been terminated from her job, and the employer, however, has asked her to take like half of the salary if she wishes, but she refused for whatever reason. But and then I made a post on it, and I encourage people, like they're like, people think differently in different zones, in different mindsets, in different fields. So, but I was really inspired with her journey, that she told me that her dignity is more important, and she did not deserve that salary. And it's not about paying your bills and expenses, but eventually you have a price tag on your experience, you have a price tag on your skill set, and this is not the price tag that I want to carry on myself. This is against her whatsoever dignity, and which really inspired me. And then I made a post out of it, and that post has nearly 300,000 views within just 2 days. So you can see the impact of it. So now my other post, if I would go back, they have significant views. But then again, like, this post has done so well in the past 2 days because it has, as Dino mentioned, that you might be sharing a content that is relevant to an audience of this magnitude, but then there is some content back in your mind, or there are some contents, like the variety of content that has a magnitude of this big. So you might have to come up with those contents frequently, and instill those content in your network as well. So if you have to grow big on LinkedIn, bring the variety of content and try to make success stories, try to post on different topics that are where people, they feel emotionally attached to it. All right, because today in this live broadcast, as you know, that Dino's personal journey of 100,000, I could have written it as how to grow big on 100,000, or how to make 100,000 followers on LinkedIn. But no, we twisted it in this way, that Dino's personal journey, you are going so that you can learn from a person's personal experience, rather than we're just having a topic and we're just talking about generally. But now in this live broadcast, we are actually talking like some real case scenarios, some real experiences of Dino. And to Hamid, growing big on LinkedIn, I also suggest that you go back and create a matrix, because the matrix is your personal guide. If you don't have a matrix, you will be lost somewhere. So see if, especially if you're following if you're going for fellowship on LinkedIn, like increased fellowship, keep an Excel sheet. Okay, 8 a.m. every morning, you see like how significantly your followers have increased. If you are tracking, for example, the engagement on your posts, it's again significant that you should keep an Excel sheet. What type of content did you post? When did you post? The time did you post? The theme of the post, and what were the engagements on your post, likes and comments? So you get to see, because as you see, like on YouTube and on Instagram, you can see the those trails of engagement and everything, those stats and analytics that will help as a content creator. When is the best time to post and what type of content, and who is your target audience given your network. But on LinkedIn, unfortunately, we cannot, unless you have a business page. But on your profile, you still get to see some amazing content. For example, which companies, people in different professions, and people coming from different regions. From particular region, your post has maximum views. So if this is not something that you are aiming for, maybe how you can change. You might have to change your target audience, but for that, you definitely need a matrix, so that the matrix will help you. It will guide you. What do you think, Dino?
And yeah, absolutely. And you can look at the profile views as well. So if you're on the free one, you can only look at the last 90 days and where it's heading. But if it's trending up, then obviously you're doing something right. Maybe continue doing that.
Yes.
You don't always need to create something brand new.
Yes.
And the other part I wanted to share off that question, my apologies, I forgot who did ask that question, Hassan.
From Wakar or?
Wakar, yeah, about how to grow big on LinkedIn is, and again, it's hard, but if you think about it, 99.9% of things you've either seen before or heard of, or it's not new, okay? Mm-hmm. And if you put it into that context, that don't be always worried in the sense that you need to come up with something new every time you post, because you'll never post, right? You could Google 99.9% of things and find it, but it's not that. It's the value of how do you share it, because all of a sudden it's that way of thinking that someone goes, oh, I know how to sell, right? I'm a good salesman, but I maybe don't do what Hassan does, or maybe don't do what Joe does, or Miria does, whoever. But then you can pick something up and you can implement it. And that's the value of getting creative with your content. You don't have to think about, I have to help 500 people today. Mm-hmm. Just put something out there valuable. You'll help one person. But get rid of that fear factor. And a lot of people go, video is a big one. I don't know if we're going to have a video question, but if anybody's wondering about video content, Hassan, can I tackle this now, or do we have one? Have you seen one?
Let me just quickly go through with the comments. Guys, feel free to leave your comments below, because today we have Dino Pacella with us, who is a content creator on LinkedIn, and he has been on this platform for quite a few years, and his journey has been very phenomenal. And you can ask any questions if you would like to grow big on LinkedIn. And in case you wanna use a certain tool of LinkedIn, for example, posting, publishing articles, LinkedIn Lives, LinkedIn native video, how to optimize on groups. So feel free to ask any question in the comments below. Ask today any question which you have in your mind, how to grow big on LinkedIn, how to do certain thing on LinkedIn, how to get more followership. Do you really need followership or not? Ask anything in this live broadcast today. We have Dino Pacella with us, who is sharing his personal journey with us. Dino, we don't have like live in specific, but of course, I mean, I want to come to that part a little bit later when we are going to talk about like how we can optimize on different tools of LinkedIn. There are text posting, lives, LinkedIn native video, the importance of it. But I want to touch the last part when it comes to the text post creation. How do you see, a post which can go viral? But of course, before that, we just want to thank to all the viewers who are saying, Joy Abdullah is saying, thank you very much, Sohaib. Thank you, Joy, for your comment. We have Samin who's saying, Dino, can you tell the frequency of posting content, which we have already discussed that, if you're a newbie on LinkedIn, begin with like twice or thrice a day, or maybe twice at max, because you also need to know the analytics of your profile, the network that you have in your profile. Otherwise, if you're just posting, if somebody has told you, you should post 5 times a day, 6 times a day, all those influencers, but then they are doing it for a reason. They have their own metrics. All right. So for you, you also need to understand where your content is seen and how your content is taken by your network. So it's very, very important. And Joy Abdullah is saying the lives are very helpful. Absolutely. So it's a good way where you can share the information and you can grow your network and you can have an impact. Hamid Yusuf is saying thank you to you, Dino, for answering this question. And we have a tip from Joy Abdullah saying be original and be authentic, which I think Dino mentioned as well in the beginning, that once you start your journey on this platform, this is something I think you cannot fake yourself, because you cannot fake yourself for long. And eventually people, they're going to find it out. And also you will lose your interest. You will be tired of faking yourself. So just be authentic, be original. In a live broadcast yesterday, I was doing another session with a good friend back in my country, and we were discussing about personal branding. And one of the points that I mentioned, which exactly as mentioned by Joy Abdullah, is that be honest, be genuine, be authentic in whatever you do. And once you are truthful to yourself and with your content, you have the opportunity to build a trust factor. Now, growing big on LinkedIn, there is a huge element of trust, that why people should follow you. They should feel connected with your content. They should know that you are a genuine content creator, rather than you're copying pasting people's posts, for example, or you come up with different tactics where you are trying to break the system, or you are just making people fool with your content. So don't do that. Be authentic and be original. All right, let's quickly go through your more comments here. We have Basharat, who is watching us from India, saying, what is your next plan on LinkedIn after achieving this big number of followers? So now you have 100,000 followers. What are your next targets, or what you're going to do about your network?
Well, there is no target, right? Okay. My objective is to continue building a network where I can share some value and I can learn some stuff as well. Mm-hmm. Because I'm always, the reason I scroll through my LinkedIn feed is, yes, there's particular people, Basham, that I like to have a look at what they're posting because I like following them. But there's also other people that I may not know that they've posted something that's interesting. Right. So I always say, don't go through mindless scrolling like you're a 13-year-old teenager going, yeah, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to sit here and scroll through my feed. For me, there's no point. If I'm going to scroll, I'll have a look. And as soon as I find something, I'll learn. So as much as me sharing value, I want to learn and improve it to be a better person, whatever that looks like. So no objective. It's not that I want to get to 1 million followers in a year. You know what? If I can help 1 million people and do something fantastic, but it's not a target of mine.
And then also another thing is that if you go after the followers count, if you have now today 50,000 and then you go greedy, okay, I need to get 60,000, I need to get 80,000. So 100,000, as Dino said, there are no targets, because if you're 100,000, the next is like, okay, 200, okay, 300. Even if you would have 5 million, okay, why not should I go for 10 million? Why should not I go for 50 million? Why should not I go for 1 billion followers? So that is like endless. So the most important thing here is that you stay focused on your content with your own strategies and the value that you are adding in the community. And, so this is the most important thing. All right, so we have a couple of more comments here, and then we'll begin with our next segment, which is about optimizing different tools on LinkedIn. And would love to hear from Dino as well, because he has been creating content in different spheres using different tools, and we're going to learn from him as well. So let's say we have, let me take one more here. So we have one. Noor Ali was saying, could you please tell me how to mention on the platform that I'm actively in job search for a couple of months? So how to mention on the platform that I'm actively in search of job. All right, so LinkedIn gives you those tools, those features. Again, I would say like LinkedIn is a very comprehensive platform. It's just that how we are exploring it, rather than we are just following somebody who has done a post or who has done something, who has been jobless and he has done something, and then you just want to copy that. But on LinkedIn, there are different features. So you just need to go in your privacy and settings. There is a job seek preferences. There are a bunch of settings, 5-6 settings are already there, which will help you to apply for jobs and to tailor your profile so that you can apply discreetly and in a better way, rather than undressing yourself in the public that I'm jobless. And
that's on they can reach out to, so use a search field and reach out to recruiters. Recruiters get paid when they put somebody in a job, right?
Exactly.
So they want to help you. Most of them should want to be of assistance for you. So reach out to them, and then you've got that actively looking for jobs as well, where you can put the filter that's only for recruiters.
And a lot of people, they think like the mindset is that recruiters will not respond to you, or they never get back to you.
Yeah.
They will get back to you, but also you have to see three very important things. One thing is that, did you reach out to the right recruiter? Did you reach out to a recruiter who has a relevant opening in their company or within their clients? And the third, again, which is the most important thing, is that how did you reach out to the recruiter? Like, you did not build any foundation. There's no a ground or like a base to connect with, and you just like a random. It appears to be a random message, which recruiters, they do receive hundreds of messages every single day with this long text and a resume attached. So how differently you can do your approach will definitely make a big difference here. Dino, two more comments here. One comment from Pradeep. We like to grow networking in steps, but currently focusing on learning, filling the loopholes, how people are creating best content. Which one you like the more? Is it like to learn first these tools to understand the dynamics of LinkedIn, how people have grown, or how they're making content, or we just simply started, or we should learn these things?
Yeah, and again, that's another interesting question, Pradeep. And I think you look at it from the point that you have a mixture of content. So, well, the analogy keeps coming to my head or something. Too much content creation in my brain.
No.
Carry a bag of content around, right? Around what can you pull out of that when you need it, and in the sense of having the right combination. So this all goes through experience and trial and error. So don't think just because you may think it's a good post that it's going to get very good engagement, and vice versa. Sometimes you put something out and you go, I'm not sure, but it's okay. It's still positive. I'll do it. And it might go really, really well. So again, bit of trial and error, but have a combination. So learn how to do video content, and we'll discuss that in a moment, but know how to write posts. And I know we're discussing this in the content creation part of Sun, but a motivational picture posts, which I do probably maybe too many of them, but they work well for me because there's that audience there that sometimes need a bit of a lift throughout the day. And if you can help somebody and lift them up and they continue on with the day, your branding job is done. Big tick, done. You don't have to stress about it. Right? So have the right mix of content, the right combination. And you may go, listen, I'm very good with the words that I type, but I can't put that on a video. Right? So you want to do more of that, but you still want to put a couple of videos in so you get the right combination, because without that video content, you can't hide in front of this camera, right? So this one right here, son, hard for me to hide in front of, because I'm not a paid actor. I'm not a professional actor. Right? What you see is what you get. You mentioned before about being real. It's too tiring to be fake. It takes too much work. Right? Honestly, I've seen people do, and this is taking it to Instagram, and maybe it's acceptable there. People adjusting backgrounds, lighting, and it's taking them half an hour to do one simple photo. And I understand Instagram's a picture platform. I get that.
Right.
But you're moving things, you're doing the hair, and it's like, oh, I just woke up. But I've been up for 4 hours preparing the room.
Yes, exactly.
So that's a lot of work.
Exactly.
Right? So, but is that the realness in you? I don't know. But hopefully that answers your question, my friend.
Absolutely. And last thing, I just want to take this question here. I think it's important. A lot of people, they're looking forward to see the monetization on LinkedIn, if there are any tools, if there are any approaches, if there are any ways that we can monetize on LinkedIn. So would love to hear your thoughts. I know so far, I mean, to my best knowledge, I think there is nothing similar as Facebook or YouTube that you can monetize on LinkedIn. But maybe in the future they might come up with some new strategies, some new features and tools, which might help the members or the community on LinkedIn to monetize. But how do you see this platform when it will be monetized, Dino? Is it something like members they have been asking for long, I believe?
Yeah. Again, it's how do you monetize a platform where it's all about adding value and information? And I suppose you could argue that YouTube has that to a degree, but then do you take the advertisement for businesses and put that onto LinkedIn? And then all of a sudden we're seeing more ads on LinkedIn than what we currently see. That's probably the only way that I see people are going to start monetizing their networks, their platforms, and having people even promote from your channel or your profile. For you to do that, it needs a more of an income stream from a LinkedIn headquarters type of view. So if you're putting a business perspective, they go, well, if we're going to start helping people monetize it, we need something to offset that expense for us.
Right.
And the only way to do that is get paid advertising on the platform.
Right.
So I don't think LinkedIn's going to rush into that, because you've got Facebook and YouTube that will do that, but they may do it in a different context where removes them as the middleman, if that makes sense. But watch your space. I don't know if we answered that question, but it's just a bit of an insight into where we think it's heading.
Okay, great. So to all the listeners who have just joined us, this is Sohaib Hassan live from Dubai, and today I am with my very good friend Dino Pacella, all the way from Brisbane, Australia, and today we are discussing his journey over LinkedIn of his network, which is beyond 100,000 people, and he is a content creator on LinkedIn. His background in finance and banking, plus also he has done substantial work in marketing and digital marketing side as well. So you see, like, people, they are multi-skilled, and especially in this era, the more diverse we are with our skill sets, the more opportunities we grab, and the more opportunities we grab give us the more chances to expand our network as well, because we can be seen rather than we just focus on one little thing, and we have a limited audience in that particular sphere. And so if you have joined us on LinkedIn, so you can click on the link in the description of this post that will bring you immediately to this YouTube live broadcast, where you can leave any questions if you want to know about LinkedIn tools, want to know how to grow big on LinkedIn, want to know how you can create your followers base on LinkedIn, and any question which you might have when it comes to LinkedIn marketing, LinkedIn content creation, LinkedIn expanding network. So feel free to ask any questions in the comment section below. We are moving to the next part of this live broadcast, which is using different tools of LinkedIn. And I know, like, coming on a live video, or let's say even making a video, it is sometimes very fearing. People, they do feel like, how will I be seen by my network? And we're gonna learn from Dino because he posts the videos very frequently. So how does he record, which app he uses, and how does he edit those videos, and how frequently does he post those videos, and was he shy in the beginning, and his experience of his first video, and his journey making videos on LinkedIn, and do videos do good than a normal text post? So Dino, please share your journey.
Are they all my secrets? No, I'm just kidding. They're not. Okay, so what do I use first? My phone, right? I've never bought a professional camera or professional microphone. I had a microphone that plugged into the phone, but I can't use it anymore because the new iPhone's gone. Doesn't have the headphone jack anymore, so I can't use that. So it's always just the iPhone that I use. The apps that I utilize when I'm editing any videos, and when I mean editing, very rarely do I cut and add things when I'm doing videos, particularly for LinkedIn. If I'm doing it for the YouTube channel, a little bit different, right? I think it takes a little bit more creativity to grab that attention span on YouTube than it does on LinkedIn. One, because you're not doing them for so long, so your messaging is straight on point. Trying to think of all your questions, Hassan. You threw about 10 at me in about 5 seconds. Okay,
let me ask. Were you shy in the beginning, or what was your first experience when you did you take 15 takes
Of course I did.
Okay.
Of course. And if anybody says, "Oh, my first video, one take, I did it. It was perfect." Oh, mate, you're lying. You're lying. But I think if I remember my first one, I was in the office of work, and we had the boardroom, and no one was there. And I went, "Oh, it's quiet. I've got 10 minutes spare. I'll go try a video." I came out of it and I went, "No, I'm not posting that." that was terrible. And I looked at it again that night when I went home, and I went, "Oh, maybe it's not that bad. It's only me." And then 2 days later, it's still sitting in my camera roll, and I went, "Oh, do I just do it?" And I went, "Bugger it, I will just post it." And I thought to myself, what's the worst that can happen?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that I might get a few negative comments. For me, I have a different approach when it comes to people being negative to you and haters coming on your posts. But we can tackle that if somebody has a question. How do you deal with trolls? Right. So I have a good strategy for that. So I thought, well, no one's going to physically hurt me. No one's going to punch me in the arm or break my leg. Right? And it wasn't doing any damage to my brand. So I thought, bugger it, I'm going to do it. And that's how I started overcoming that fear. But yeah, of course I was scared on the first one. I went, "Oh, what are people going to think? Is my boss going to like it? What about my clients?" I went, "Oh my God." And people started enjoying it. And I went, "Oh, okay, this is more value." And you still meet people today, not just me.
Right.
Oh, okay. But you still meet people. And I'm sure you do. You go to conferences and people come out, and you've got to keep in mind, it's not people who are commenting on the post, but people are still watching. And I love it for when people come up and go, "Hey, I've seen your content, wanted to come and say, hey, how do you do this?" You know your brand works when people come up to you and they've never, you can't see them in a comment, but they want to talk to you about your journey or what you're doing here or how you've done that. You know your brand is working, it's hitting the mark when people offline are coming to have a chat with you. And I love that.
And you know what? I'm actually like finding one of my video that I wanted to share right now to all the people. Like one of my, it's so funny. Like one of my videos, like if you go back like 2017, and you would see, and even I have all those videos with me, and whenever I see them, I have seen, there's a huge, massive shift in learning, in improvement, and in confidence as well. And I'm gonna show you one video in a while that I'm still trying to find and upload it in this video section, and I'm going to share with you in a while. And so in the meantime, can you tell us, so you have overcome this fear and then your journey of video making. So how do you think like posting a video, does it get more engagement for you now, or still like text posts, they do better because they have the keywords, it can trigger the algorithm, or maybe videos, people, they don't want to read through the text, that long text, but they are happy to spend 2 or 3 minutes just by listening?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because you could go, well, how does the algorithm look at it? Is it the keywords that do the text post well? Yes, text posts supposedly perform better, but I'm finding now with the video content that seems to be dragging up a little bit. And I think it's mainly because of the content that you're putting out, right? And it's all about, you need an engaging headline. I always look at, when I do videos, even some picture posts now, I don't know if anybody reads newspapers anymore, goes to the news agencies and buys them. But if you remember back then, the headline was always catchy. It was always have the headline, have a few paragraphs, and then you would turn to page 3 and read the article.
Right.
But if you're doing the video content, your text on that needs to be catchy enough where people go, oh, I want to spend 40, 50, 60 seconds to watch this video. What's it all about?
Right.
So, but I'm not saying do clickbait to say, hey, I'm going to show you how to make $1 million in 60 seconds, because no one can do that. Unless you want to go to the casino and put it on black. But I don't have $1 million to waste.
Right.
But so you're not going to lie on the heading, but you can grab enough attention on the video. So videos that 30, 40, 50 seconds seem to do really, really well. Straight, punchy, and on point. But yeah, the texts do well. But again, I'm finding the long text under the 1,300 character limit on LinkedIn did well. But now I'm finding the ones that are sitting 200, 300, 400 characters perform better than the longer ones. That's just my journey and my audience. They might be different for yourself. What about you?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the network. It really depends the time that you're posting. For me, I think if I would post videos in the night, they tend to do good rather than if I would post in the morning. For example, maybe my network, they are at work. So, you learn from your journey. So if you are an entrepreneur, maybe things will work in a different way. If you use LinkedIn, within your 9-to-5 job and you are doing posting and your videos, it might do the engagement, but in a different way at a different scale. So I think it's a continuous journey. And even now with this, like that work that we have, it is still a learning every single day for each of us. I believe that, something has done well, something has not done well. And then immediately we get to know, oh, there is something new which has just come up, or there is something new that has changed the algorithm, or there is something new which people are talking about. So, but one of the tip here is that to get more engagement on your posts and on your videos is that when you talk about trending topics, when you log in your LinkedIn account now homepage, on the right side section, there is like trending topics or people who are talking right now. So maybe if you are ever short of content, if you think like, what do I need to post today? Or like, you can see those trending topics. You can take the idea from there, do a little bit of research. Maybe you can come up with your own perspective, your own thoughts, and you can share that rather than you just keep yourself with all those little things which everyone is doing. But then you come up and with this bold confidence in a text post or in a video, but you're going to share, you're going to bang them that here I am with this trending topic, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the facts. I'm going to tell you my perspective. So let's get on board and discuss all these things. Now, last week, I was in few of those live broadcasts, and people have asked this question, I think, in one of your videos as well, Dino, which we did together through your LinkedIn Live account. And there was a question that, should I block my boss because I want to do content creation? I took that topic and I made a huge broadcast on it. Like this is something which people, they want to know. They want to know, should they block their bosses? Should they block their employers? But I gave a new perspective of it that no, the employers, they should give the authority. They should empower their own employees to let them use LinkedIn, to let them use this platform. Not only that we are social animals, not only that we millennials are in the digital space, we want to live and breathe in this digital space. We have this that drive or that hunger to share to the whole world what we are doing right now. So this is the era. So employers, they have to change their perspective, and they should not have that micro-managed mindset to limit their employees. You should not be doing. But in my broadcast, I explained that how you can optimize, this while empowering this liberty, giving this liberty to your employees. Anyway, so we have few interesting comments and questions here that I'm going to take shortly in a while. And if you have joined us on LinkedIn, feel free to click on the link in the description of this post. That will straight take you to our broadcast on YouTube Live, and you can also leave your questions here. I'm gonna leave Pacella's YouTube link, in this banner here. So feel free to please follow Dino Pacella's account on YouTube after this live broadcast, because if you're gonna go follow now, you might leave this broadcast. So after we are done with this live broadcast,
don't do that now.
You have to share some information, and then and then feel free to follow Dino Pacella's profiling. Maybe you can take a screenshot of it right now.
Oh, me? No.
All right, so I hope you have taken the screenshot, and then you can follow Dino on his LinkedIn account and on YouTube as well. All right, so I'm going to share that first video, one of my those first videos that I made back in, and whenever I see my videos now, it is so funny.
I have to go get the popcorn. Come on.
No, you don't have to. All right, so I'm going to share the video now. Good morning, everybody. A very bright start of the week. Wishing you all the best for this week. And the tip of the day today is that today is your day that you're going to make
a new beginning for yourself. Why? Because yesterday, you said to yourself that tomorrow I'm gonna make a start. You said to yourself yesterday that tomorrow I'm gonna, you know.
So
who's that?
This is
that guy.
This is me.
No, I don't believe that was you. I think that was another guy.
It was me.
Oh, we've lost a son.
It was me, Dino.
Oh my God. Jesus. Wow. 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 I'm glad. Have you got any more we can see?
I have a library of those videos with me. There are like tons and tons of those videos, and those are like, I mean, whenever I see them, you know, I feel good that I have learned so much. But you know, even those, like in my videos, like the volume is high and my volume is less. How you appear in the
I'm looking at the comments. Sorry.
the comments are over there.
Who is that, Mohammed? I'm with you. I didn't even look like him.
Like Mama is saying, great videos for him. She's saying, ha ha, saying awesome. Who is that? That is me. That is me.
I don't believe it was him either, guys. Mustaches are like painting to my Oh, I think you need to do some flashback videos.
I think, you know what? I have, every person, they have their own style of making videos. All right. And my style always, like, you know, it's my, you may call it, it's my brand, or it's the way that I start my videos. And I would simply do it like with this, hey guys, this is Suhaib back in another video, and in this video today we're going to talk about this blah blah blah. You know, hey guys, welcome back in another video with Suhaib, and live in this podcast today we're discussing this blah blah blah. So I mean, I have all those videos, and I thought maybe I can put all those videos together, only like the first 3 or 4 seconds. You know, where I have just said like, hey guys, this is Suhaib back in another video, and today I am with my blah blah blah. Hi guys, welcome back in another video. Today we are discussing about this blah blah blah, something like this. And I'm gonna compile all those videos. I have like maybe 60, 70 videos, but I'm gonna take, you know, like all those videos from I mean, on YouTube I have more than 50 videos now in just 2 months.
Well, I can't unsee that now, Hassan. It was like I loved it, but it was like I couldn't look away, and I'm sure everybody that's seen that, like Mamba, Samir, Basharat, Mohammed.
Good morning, everybody. A very bright start of the week. Wishing you all the best for this week. And the tip of the day today is...
It's haunting me now. Now I'm going to go to sleep. I'm like, what's going on?
But you know, I kept all these memories with me so that I can, you know, share with my audience. I mean, like you know, the I would say for example, the best of the best practices. For example, you know, while I was making those videos, you can see like, you know, the. But I mean, things have.
Like, was that Sean Connery in the background, or
no? You know, I mean, I think I should be making a collage. How do you call this, collage of those videos?
Classic Punjabi look. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the look. I think this is some of the look that something, you know.
You got to be on the next James Bond. I think that, but not as James Bond, as the evil villain.
I should be in the movies now. You know, about, but have kept so many different, you know, styles.
What? No.
So
what's that? Oh wow. Okay. We just turned into a home movie night now.
Yeah. All right. So coming back to our topic for today, okay. I hope you come to this topic about LinkedIn's journey of Dino Pacella in achieving 100,000 followers. And you know, one question here I want to ask now is about, you know, when we are posting content on LinkedIn, when it comes to the hashtags. So how do you see the importance of these hashtags, and how many hashtags should we use in our LinkedIn posts to optimize our visibility?
I've got a little bit of a different view on hashtags.
Right.
By all means, Insta, Twitter, go do them, right? I find LinkedIn, they only work now and then. and this is only my view. Somebody might use it and go, Dino, I love them. They help me get further traction, whatever. Continue doing it. That's fantastic. I'd say no more than 3 do them. I always have my own hashtag. And then if it's in a wide enough industry that hashtag has enough followers that it's worth me putting it in there, then I'll do it. And you can just search under the search bar, just put hashtag personal branding, and you can see how many followers it has.
All right. And also,
yes. Yeah. But I would say no more than 3. But for me personally, I haven't seen a lift in engagement when it comes to content with or without hashtags. I will do it if I want maybe a few extra audience, or if I've created an event with a specific hashtag, or you've put my DP official up, which is mine. And that's probably a very arrogant DP official, because I don't know how many other Dino Pacellas there are in the world that I need a little blue tick next to my name to verify who it's me. But hey, I did that way back when, and I can't change it now. But well, I can, but I don't want to. But
so how did you come up with your own hashtag? And like there was a point when you realized that okay, hashtag does help in getting you the visibility factor, and then you came up with your own hashtag. Of course, like guys, if you would click or if you would search DP official, hashtag DP official, you get to see Dino's content on YouTube or on LinkedIn as well, and then you get to see the library of his content. So, but how did you come up with your own like DP official? You couldn't have hashtag Dino Pacella.
Since we are being honest, right?
Absolutely.
My daughter gave me that hashtag.
Okay. DP official.
I could have said it's something creative, and I thought, oh, it looks pretty cool. I was my daughter was on my was on my Instagram, so I've got a private Instagram where I have only got 20 or 30 family, and that's basically all around the world, so we can keep in contact. And then I have my normal one, which is, and you can't have the same username. So my daughter goes, oh, why don't you put the other one as Dino Pacella official? And then I went, oh, okay. And then she goes, well, there's a hashtag for you, DP official. And I said, oh, okay. And that was, 6-7 years ago when I created that Dino Pacella official on Instagram, and I kept it. And I've just ran with it ever since. But it's good to have the hashtags if it's your own as well. So if you're searching for other content, or people have shared your content or used it in a comment or used it in a post, then at least you can see it, which is good, because I might miss it sometimes in the notifications.
All right. And like, for example, there are different people who are different celebrities, for example, or who happen to have a bigger or like a larger impact in in the crowd or in the society, or they are more in the limelight in the media. So there is one, I think, a German rapper back, maybe a few decades ago, David Papo, I think. So, or let's say there is another, as I was just doing a research on Google, and there is an American economist who was born in September 27, 1951, David P., who's an American economist. And people, or if tomorrow we have another business name and the business happens to grow big and they have something with D and P in their names, and they wanted to do like DP official as their hashtag, at the moment they are starting to brand themselves, I think your post gonna come up and they would say like, who this DP official, who's this guy? And maybe they want to buy your hashtag. They would say like, hey, you should not be using this hashtag. This is now our official, and we'll pay you. So your hashtag has a value. I think your hashtag has a price tag on it now. It's DP official. Maybe tomorrow, if we have another musician, another like 5 years from now, like David Pillar, for example, I don't know, or and David Pillar will reach out to you. Hey, this is something that I personally use.
I'm open for all offers, all offers. Just make sure it's at least 6 digits.
Yeah. All right.
US dollars. Okay.
60 digits. All right. So we're going to take your comments and questions, and then we are going to wrap up our discussion in the next 10 minutes as well. So let me quickly take your questions and comments now. So Samin is saying, thank you very much, Sohaib, for making this learning fun. Absolutely. I always try my best that my LinkedIn live broadcast and my YouTube broadcast, they are full of fun, so that we can do the knowledge sharing and the learning together in a very engaging way, rather than I talk or my guest talk, but rather than we just keep a back and forth communication where we can enjoy it together. We also have Adnan, who is saying, a good friend of mine, what a mouse class, love it. Thank you very much, Adnan. Yeah. We also have a few comments. Different avatar of yours, absolutely. So I had different styles in the past.
Man, absolutely. Many disguises.
All right, so there are some other people who are commenting. All right, so let me go back to take one more question, and then I'm going to ask one last question from Dino, and then we'll begin winding up our live broadcast for today. We have Pradeep, who's saying it is interesting and insightful, along with a lot to apply on content creation. Thank you very much.
It is, Pradeep.
I think this will help a lot of viewers as well. Hamza is asking, I have recently started content creating, but I am losing traction even while I'm making more content. I'm making more creative content. So any tips for him, although he's making content, but he's losing traction, or people are not engaging on his content?
It's a hard one without actually having a look at what the content looks like, Uzma, and how often you're posting and engagement.
I think I have an analogy here.
Oh, you got an analogy. I think we're only up to about 4.
I have the analogy here now. So, it is similar like you're asking doctor on the phone, I have a pain in my lungs, and what medicine should I take? Or like I have a pain in my stomach, or like I have a pain in my chest, and what should I do? And unless the doctor would for example examine, he will not prescribe the exact medication. And similarly, Hamza, you are creating those creative content, but then if you're not getting the engagement, so maybe somebody has to see your type of content that you do, how you're doing it, how you're posting it, and your network as well. We might need to examine as well. So a lot of things will come and play, but then of course we hear some insights from Dino.
Yeah, I was just going to add to it. I think, Uzma, have a look at the length of your videos is the first thing. So just go through the last 10. If you've done 10 videos, go through the last 10, have a look at the length of them, and pull off all the analytics of each 10. So if you know the times that you posted, have a look at the times, the length, what you're actually sharing in the video. Right? I've always said, they're saying now on LinkedIn, and this isn't my view, this is from what I'm hearing from, we say experts, but people that are utilizing the platform more than me. They're saying that you used to be no more than 60 seconds on a video. They're saying 30 is the new 60. So, well, listen, I did video the other day. I went for 2.5 minutes, and I had probably more views and better traction than some of my other videos in the past that went for 40 seconds. So I don't think maybe it's not so much around the time now. I think it's around that content and that value driven. So I'd say just have a look at when you're posting, what content you're posting, who you're posting it out to, and just have some visibility and some overview. But take it from a good sample approach, not just 1 or 2. Take 10, 15, 20 and have a look. And get some feedback from other people. Send someone the link and say, hey, can you give me some feedback on my video?
Yeah.
You might as well ask your audience what it looks like.
That's right. And also, especially in your journey on LinkedIn, you even if you don't get engagement, that is completely fine, because you need to test and try. It might take 2 months, it might take 6 months, it might take longer, or it might take 2 weeks for you to identify your target niche and what type of content people are more engaging in your LinkedIn account. So, just keep practicing it. Just, keep rolling out your content and see how it brings the engagement on your content. All right. So quickly going through some of the comments. You both are perfect mix of knowledge and fun. Thank you very much, Black Mamba.
Thank you.
We have Rehan is saying, honestly, saying you both have made LinkedIn as an easy one with this all learning together. Thank you very much, Rehan, for your comment. We also have one from Pythro, who is saying this live represents actually that authenticity and genuinity we need to share on LinkedIn. Absolutely. I try my best to be as genuine as possible, as honest and fun Phil live broadcast to bring with all of you and to be genuine and honest and be authentic. I think this is something that we need to do. I believe in this fact that we born as an authentic person, and so why to fake everything, you know? So all right.
Absolutely.
So the last question for today.
Okay.
How many hours per day are needed to learn how to post consistent content, Dino?
That's Michaela. I think Michaela's from Italy, if it's the right Michaela that I'm going.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Michaela, thank you for joining. How many hours per day are needed to learn how to post consistent content? Wow, that can vary. I think the overall response would be however many hours you can invest into it without stressing yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at home, given the world's environment, if you're not working, so I'm not currently working, so I can put 10 hours into it and easily do 10 hours and sit back and go, I've done content for the next 3 weeks.
Right.
But if you're working, I think an overall a good hour to learn how to create the right content, how to post that consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Gets you an overall. I don't think you can do it in 5-10 minutes.
All right.
You may pick up a few things from other people as well, but I think learning and getting comfortable with looking at, because what you want to do is get it comfortable in the sense that you're unconsciously walking down the street and you see a sign and you go, oh, I've got a view on that sign, I can make some content on that. Or you're driving and you can see somebody doing something on the road and you go, oh, I can actually make a content because out of a value add perspective, people should do that because of this, and this.
That's right.
So training your mindset to get content creative takes time, but I'd say if you wanted specific numbers, Michaela, 60 minutes a day, 30 days, and you should get your mindset into that ability to go, I can do this and I can do it. And I can do it with having fun as well. Hassan, what's your view on that one, on that question?
I think, I mean, again, I would see like as a newbie, your investment of time will be taken in a different way as compared to people who have massive followership now and people who are really creating content on LinkedIn. I think they spend time in a different way. So only if you have to learn different dynamics of LinkedIn, that how much time you have to spend on LinkedIn. I think whenever you get time, whenever you get free, so rather than watching different videos which have no significant value, I think you should watch how people are posting content on LinkedIn. And also you can try to read on Google different articles about how to grow big on LinkedIn, how to expand your network, how to increase your connections, how to write a text post, which tools of LinkedIn do best when it comes to engagement. So you don't have to be on LinkedIn all the time to learn. So you can also spend time on YouTube. So rather than watching maybe all those videos and pranks, for example, which, for example, do amuse you for the time.
Oh, they're funny.
But then imagine, I was telling Dino backstage that today in the morning, I spent about like hour and a half learning on the affiliate marketing. And this was just backstage, and I was telling Dino, so I spent like hour and a half, watching those videos on YouTube because I'm working, let's say, on my website on some projects where I can help people when it comes to affiliate marketing and how we can do that. So I think this is something that you have to be focused, like you wanted to learn about LinkedIn, and then in what ways you can learn. You can reach out to one of your connection over LinkedIn that if he or she can spend like 30 minutes with you on a Zoom call and share their experience, and you can have a one-on-one chat with them. So you also don't want to spend like 2 months, just by yourself on LinkedIn and learning this platform. Use YouTube videos, go Google search, ask your connections, and then also you can spend your time in LinkedIn as well, just by looking at people's profile, how they do certain things, how they're engaging with their own network, and then you can do a lot of things. I know it is. Please.
Sorry, can we take the question underneath that to maybe finish off on the last one from Jessie Gutierrez?
Yeah. This is what I wanted to say, like although it is getting late, but Jessie, she's all the way from Germany, a very good friend of mine as well, and she's an expert, a certified emotional coach, and I wanted to take her question because this question is, I think, is relevant for today's discussion. So, Dino, please.
All right. So, how long did it take me to reach the influence I have today? When did I see the momentum picking up? I've got a clear answer for you, Jesse, on this one. So, outside of me posting from the corporate, the one time that I wanted to share something and I flipped it, it wasn't about the M and the me. It was about me being able to break through the facade of who I was and letting people see the real me, right? I grabbed my phone and I had the house to myself for that day. I was working from home, and this goes back. So it started building up around 19 months ago, and I had a network of about 30,000 there and grew 70,000 in 19 months. But the point of it was I put the phone on the coffee table and I thought, oh, I wonder if I could share around, because I've been divorced now from my ex-wife for 7 years and we still have a decent relationship, so it's all good. But I wanted to share around the feelings that divorced people go through if they've got children, that guilt factor of that you spend 7 days a week, 24/7 with your children, that all of a sudden you're spending half of the time with that. And I thought, oh, that's a very honest video to put out. And that's something that I was thinking, oh, what's my boss going to think of that? What's my client's going to think of that? And I recorded that on that day. And it took me probably 3 or 4 takes, because I think the video went for about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I think, at that point. But I tell you what, I sat in the role in the photo album for probably a week or two, and I watched it and I watched it and I watched it, Jesse, and I went, oh, should I do it? And overall I went, bugger it, I'm going to do it. It's my journey. It's me. And I put it, and the amount of people that came out and said, oh, I've gone through that, so you're telling me it gets easier, or how did you combat the first week? And people reached out, and it wasn't all about in the comments. It was people reached out and through direct messaging. And going, Dino, I'm just going through that now. How did you deal with this with your partner? Or how did you deal with the children asking you certain questions? Or what happens on the days that you just wanted to cry? And the answer was, I just did, right? You're not a robot. There was days where I sat underneath the kitchen bench and I just cried for 5 hours because it was all too hard. But you pick yourself up and you get through that, and you use time as your friend. And it gets better and better, and you adapt and you make it the best for everybody possible. And I think, Jesse, that was a time where it started flipping around for me, and people started seeing me not as a real person, but started seeing me as somebody that wasn't all about making money. It was about, hey, there's somebody real behind me, and I'm just like any other person. I've got feelings. I like to have fun. I like to meet new people, but I have crappy days, and unfortunately, I've had some really bad days in my life, but you know what? You learn from them like anything. And I don't want to start a Tony Robbins speech, but that's enough. I think you get the idea, Jesse.
Yeah. And if you would like to have Dino on your shows, you can also reach out to Dino via YouTube or on LinkedIn. You can write to him. And my strategy is to bring the industry experts or people from my network and to do all these live broadcasts, not only to share the knowledge, plus also that you can reach out to these people as well in case you have any questions, in case you want to do future collaborations. Because, for example, Dino has a larger network now. And if you would like to invite Dino in one of your talk shows, in one of your live broadcasts, feel free to reach out to Dino as well. Jesse is saying, thank you very much, Dino. You are very inspirational. Thank you, Jesse. We have Charles who is saying, thank you, experts, for sharing your abundance knowledge. We have Black Mama saying, thank you very much, Sohaib, and Dino, great advice. Thank you. We have Sabira who's saying, you guys have made my evening. Thank you very much for both of you. We have Rehan who's saying, thanks a lot to both of you, Sohaib and Dino. And we have from Samin as well, who has totally loved the authenticity in your talk, Dino.
Thank you.
And we also have one last comment from Noor Ali saying, humble professionals, Dino, and said, thank you very much, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed today's live broadcast and you did learn some tips and tricks when it comes to personal branding on LinkedIn, content creation on LinkedIn, and how to grow big on LinkedIn. If you have just joined, you can always watch the whole replay of this live broadcast, which will be available on my YouTube channel. And feel free to subscribe this video. No, not video. feel free to subscribe my YouTube channel so that future upcoming live broadcasts, so you get to, so you're always notified whenever there are live broadcasts are coming out. However, you can also join my Telegram channel, which I leave here in the here, so you can take a screenshot of it if you would like. You just have to download the app Telegram and then look for Sohaib Hassan Official in the Telegram. And I usually...
Am I pointing at the right one?
Yeah.
I've got it going now.
This
Welcome.
is the one.
Okay. That's all.
So you can follow this Telegram channel because I usually post different events that are coming up, different tips and tricks for the job seekers, how to use LinkedIn, personal branding, networking, different live broadcasts, and you would not regret joining this channel, because the only thing you can just put the notifications to mute, and I usually post, I mean, like every second day, maybe once or twice, and you get to have the best information in this channel as well. So feel free to join as well. And of course, you're going to join the YouTube channel as well for the upcoming live videos. And thank you very much, Dino, for your time today, you know, sharing your journey, you know, of LinkedIn. I had a good laugh. Both of you, thanks of being you. I think we should be, I think we should be making more fun videos together, and especially bringing, you know, that when we initially started our journey. Maybe I have seen, Dino, your pictures on your Instagram channel. I'm like, so guys, do go ahead and look for Dino Pacella on Instagram, and you're gonna see some videos there as well. Yeah,
someone with hair,
spikes, and they're like golden, right? Like dark brownish.
Only once, but I used to spike my hair up.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that.
That's a few years ago now. I don't have any now. Now it shaves now every few days. It's shaving cream and gone.
So
it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier not having to worry about another thing when you're doing videos. Is my hair done right? But
exactly.
Hassan, thank you for having me on your channel, on your live. It's been fun, and for everybody that has watched or will watch, when Hassan and I catch up, we probably speak now via Zoom probably every 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
And it's like this. Whatever we've done here, this is exactly who. If you're wondering, is Hassan ever different off camera? He's not. Trust me, he's exactly the same. So we should just record everything that we do and put it all up, because it's all around how do we help people, how do you get better traction, how do you use platforms better, and maybe that's something that we can start doing and we can start putting it out for everybody. But again, I really appreciate being on the show, having some fun with you. Love the comments coming in and answering the questions, and also for people subscribing to my channel as well, Hassan. So thank you so much for sharing that. Really, really appreciate it.
Let me put it out there for all the people. They get to see as well, and they can take the screenshot of your channel as well.
Already.
Oops, I can see that in the comments. It was in the comments, in the early comments.
All good. It's all the way up. Whilst you're doing that, all people need to do is search Dino Pacella.
But still, I can't see that.
That's okay.
I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up, but I can't see that. But anyway, go ahead and just search for Dino Pacella, and you get to see him on YouTube. You get to see him on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Dino Pacella is the name, and feel free to subscribe to his YouTube channel, his LinkedIn account, and follow him on Instagram as well. Thank you very much, Dino, once again. And guys, wish you a nice day as well, and hope to see you in a new live broadcast soon.
Thank you.